Over the last several years, I've spent over $500,000 on paid advertising for real estate agents to do lead generation campaigns. Now, right now I'm spending about $35,000 per month on paid advertising between myself and my clients, and I've scaled my own marketing agency to $77,000 in a month. Most SMMA owners just end up running the same lead generation campaigns for their clients as everyone else, and then their clients get terrible lead quality and they just get pissed off and leave. The new way of doing lead gen for your clients gets your clients recognized, it warms their leads up a lot, and it cranks conversion rates and ROI. Now watch this entire video because this is a story I've never actually shared with you guys, and there's a lot of gold in this video. So a little 2-minute story about myself, where I came from. So pretty much since I was like 7 or 8 years old, I was always making websites, online businesses, YouTube channels, this kind of thing in my spare time. It wasn't like all that I did. I'm not some like crazy savant or something like that, but it was one of my hobbies. All throughout school I was doing it. I really hated school. Long story short, I had to drop all of the business side projects to get into a good university. And so I gave it all up, went into a good school. I was doing math and computer science. Then I found out about dropshipping, so e-commerce, Facebook ads, Shopify, this kind of thing. Fell down the rabbit hole instantly, became completely obsessed like 5 weeks into school because I was bored. And then I ended up leaving school after like just my first year. Parents were not happy at all, as I'm sure you'd imagine. But I knew that it was a massive quality of life decision for me to make. So a lot of people say, hey, like that's a ballsy thing to do. For me, it wasn't. It was the only option. And when I say that, I mean it genuinely. Like I was so dissatisfied with the way life was for me that it really, truly was an easy decision. And I'm very grateful for that because I understand that's not the case for most people. But basically there came a point in time where I thought I need to learn sales. I learned this from just like watching people on YouTube, watching, big entrepreneurs on YouTube. I learned that I need to learn sales in order to be a good entrepreneur, and I was 100% dead set on being an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. Like I had no plans of turning back and going into school again and going into the tech industry. So I started applying for sales jobs. I did door-to-door for a little while. Long story short, I ended up applying to a real estate office, and basically they brought me in for an interview, sat me down. I was saying, hey, I can call your leads for you. But they saw that I wrote on my resume that like this side project thing I was doing was doing Facebook ads and doing e-commerce stuff. And they're like, hey, we're looking for a Facebook ads guy. You're the guy. And they were really like weirdly excited about me. And I was a little bit almost like skeptical of that. And we'll get to this in a little bit. But long story short, I start working with them. I'm excited. I start running their Facebook campaigns, have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm looking at YouTube tutorials, all this stuff. But I'm also calling my own leads. This is something that most agency owners don't do. And I highly advise you do this. Because if you call the leads yourself, you know what challenges your clients are facing and you can solve the problems yourself. Most people don't want to do it. Do what most people don't want to do because you're going to separate yourself from them. You're going to be in a position like me where I can say I've done this thing and you have no idea how powerful it is to be able to say that you've done this in your sales process. That being said, there's a pretty big problem with the lead quality, right? So my first idea was to put the agents I was working with on video. I learned a lot about putting clients on video in this process. Long story short, if they're good on video, go for it. If they're bad on video, run for the hills. Don't even try. Your lead costs are gonna suck, or you're not gonna get any leads. It's gonna be a complete train wreck, and they're gonna be uncomfortable the whole time. That being said, from the initial campaign, we got a deal, 2 deals, it was profitable, but they were paying me a full-time salary, even though it was like $1 above minimum wage. It was really nothing crazy. And when I put this realtor on video and we went for a bit of a different campaign approach, everything flipped upside down. Like I'm talking right away. Now, granted, I say this is all, whoa, it happened so fast. The reality is that this was after like 2 to 3 months of me working there. I started at the end of August and this happened, October I created the campaign, and November is where we started getting results. But between November and January, they did $85,000 in commission through my work with them, and I was ecstatic, they were ecstatic, we like cracked the code, it was pretty sick. So the first thing I learned was that putting the client on video somewhere in your funnel makes them so recognizable. And when they call their leads, the leads are like, oh, you're the guy from Facebook or wherever, whatever platform you're running, like I'm doing YouTube ads now. And they get this celebrity status. People start to recognize them, they get recognized, and they're really happy about that. Now, long story short, I stopped working with them and went on my own at the beginning of COVID to start my own company. And in starting my own company, there were so many things I learned about improving client results altogether, right? The first one being video being a piece of lead quality. I don't actually recommend you put your clients on video in the ads in most cases, so I'll talk about an alternate solution here in a minute. But the next thing that we want to talk about is landing pages, because when I was working with those people, we were still only using on Facebook lead forms. And the reality of those lead forms is that a lot of the information is like phone numbers from 12 years ago, and you get a lot of people who just have to tap their thumb 3 times in order to sign up. And so the intent is pretty low compared to having somebody manually type their information in on a landing page, or potentially even answer some qualifying questions before doing so. So landing pages were also a pretty big part of the equation, and I strongly recommend using landing pages instead of Facebook lead forms if you're choosing to still run Facebook ads. I don't. Everybody and their mom has a Facebook ad agency, so now I run YouTube ads for my clients. Really helps with the sales process. Now, one of the nice things about YouTube ads also is that Facebook's AI is like super inconsistent. So one of my clients was closing 5% of his leads, guy's making so much money, and then all of a sudden his campaign starts optimizing, instead of for buyer leads, it starts optimizing for like 70% of his leads coming in or renting, and I changed nothing. It just happened on its own. So Facebook's AI kind of sucks, and I found really good quality and long-term consistency with YouTube ads. They're also way lower maintenance, so that's why I made the switch to YouTube ads. But anyway, back on the landing page subject, another thing that we wanted to do also to really drive these high conversion rates is add disqualifying questions. So everybody has go high level, but nobody really seems to pay attention to this disqualification feature, where when you create a survey instead of a form, you can ask people multiple questions, as we all know. But what you can do is, depending on people's answers, there's actually a little drop down in the bottom right corner where you can select to disqualify someone immediately if they answer a certain question a certain way. So a lot of people who hop on your calls, they're gonna say, oh, can we target people only in a certain price range? And you're like, well, no, we're not allowed to based on Facebook stuff. You can actually do it with high-level forms and not get in trouble, which is kind of hilarious. I don't do it because you're not supposed to, and I don't want to get my clients' accounts in trouble, and I didn't when I was on Facebook. But using disqualifying questions is such a good thing for improving lead quality. You just need to be careful with how many you're using. I've talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to discuss that here. Now, after the landing page, after the opt-in, that's where I recommend putting your clients on video. Have them shoot a little 1-minute intro video. Hi, this is so-and-so. Thanks for signing up for X thing. I'm going to reach out to you because Y. This allows your clients to get recognized over the phone. You get significantly fewer leads coming in this process, disqualifying people, so on and so forth. So you get higher quality leads. These people know who your client is before your client reaches out to them. And it makes for just a much smoother experience, which really helps increase your clients' conversion rates. And obviously it also increases their ROI too, which is the whole reason they're even working with you in the first place. Now, one thing I want to touch on here too is honest marketing, right? I'm a huge proponent of honest marketing because what a lot of people don't understand is that if you are honest in your marketing, most people are not, and therefore you stand out. So the easiest edge that you can have in your marketing is being honest and not doing this bait and switch stuff. So in the real estate niche, for example, I know a lot of you guys watch me because I'm in the real estate niche. Let's say you're running ads for a client in an area where the average house price is $500,000. What a lot of guys will do is they'll run an ad where the image is a house that's clearly $650,000. And in the ad, they'll write homes for sale in X area under $400,000 or under $450,000. So they're just clickbaiting. What kind of quality do you think you're gonna get if you're clickbaiting? You're gonna get garbage. So don't clickbait. If you run honest ads, then you get the right people coming through, and that helps a lot with your lead quality. Again, therefore client conversion rates. It saves your clients time and it gets your clients better results, higher ROI. Everybody's happier. Starting a marketing agency from scratch can be pretty difficult. It can also be pretty lonely at times. So that's why I created a mentor community. If you're interested, basically what it is it's a group of agency owners who are like-minded, who are trying to grow agencies together, learning what's working right now, today, myself included, as well as some of my friends who are also in the 50 to 100K a month range. If that's something you might be interested in joining, go book a call with me in the description. We can have a chat. Now, if you're looking for more value, go click onto my channel, watch some of my other videos, but otherwise, click whatever's on screen here. See you there.